What's going on, people? Just acting here. I call Poetik Flakko. I enjoy Poetik Flakko's videos. He puts up a lot of videos. He obviously works very hard because I tell you what, putting up videos ain't like easy. It's not as easy as it looks. It's a lot easier watching videos than putting them up. Let me tell you that. Anyway, shout out to Poetik Flakko. Some describe him as a tether. I think he's doing a good job on the sort of YouTube platforms. He seems to be doing quite well. Good luck to him talking about the current affairs. So I'm going to use one of his videos. Don't strike me now, Flacco. I'm going to use one of these videos, sort of an addendum to what I mentioned about Wallo's comments on black businesses. I found this take quite interesting. So let's see what Flacco has to say.
People had issue with what Wallo stated.
Us? Oh, I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a f about that. Kill that. How? If you got a good business or you don't, all that. Nobody want to hear that. That's a hustle. Support me.
This guy said nobody wants to hear that. That's a hustle. This Wallo, look, I'm not even going to talk about Wallo. I've already mentioned, you know. But yeah, let's see what he's saying.
I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Fuck out what color you is. I'm spending my money. That paper, I'm going to spend them millions where I want to spend it at. Brothers, Porsche, Ferrari, London, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm going to tell you one thing, I ain't going to be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you is not going to make it. I'm not no motivational speaker that talk this dope shit. I'm the number one in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I made millions, and I made millionaires, baby. You understand? I come from the ghetto.
I personally didn't find not one thing wrong with what Wallo said, but
The fact that Flacco didn't find anything wrong with what it just shows what's happening in America now. This delineation that Black Americans are doing, rightly so. Obviously, there are a couple of strays being thrown around. I know Tariq Nasheed likes to make fun, so there's going to be a few strays thrown around. But honestly, it's this mentality. I think what Tariq and a lot of the FBAs are speaking to. What do you mean you don't find nothing wrong, Flacco? What do you mean that was a very problematic statement? Are you speaking down to black people? Why in a business convention are you going to say, if your business ain't good, don't think I'm going to support you because you're black? I think most of those people know that. I don't think anybody expects just to be supported because they're black. Maybe Wallo expected to be supported just because he's black. Maybe that's his mentality. Maybe he's projecting. I don't know. But I don't think people were there listening to Flacco thinking, right, Flacco's black, I'm black. Flacco's going to, Flacco. Wallo's black, I'm black. Wallo's going to help me. I don't think people at that convention were thinking that. So Wallo was just going off, and I think Tariq Nasheed broke it down. But listen to Flacco.
a lot of people did, and he got a lot of backlash. But a few days went by, it felt like it was slowing down. But then Tariq Nasheed picked up the story, and he was able to galvanize a lot of people to go against Wallo. Now, Tariq Nasheed had a huge issue with what Wallo said about black businesses at the business conference. And here's what Tariq Nasheed had to say.
So I already know where that bullshit comes from. But the thing is, a lot of people, like Wallo and others, who try to overcompensate to appear objective. See, when black folks start over criticizing black businesses to appear like they're fair and non-biased, they think that being extra harsh is going to show that they're not playing favorites. But yeah, they don't apply the same objectivity to Arabs, Asians, or white businesses. They don't. They can sit up and pretend they do. They don't. I don't want to hear how bad a black business is, yet you go to the janky Chinese corner store, they ain't really popping like that all the time.
Tariq Nasheed makes some good points there. Like it's a fact. He's saying some really good points, and I agree with him. I have heard some people online go at Tariq for similar stuff to what he said. He doesn't apparently apply the same rules to tethers as he does white people and other minorities. He kind of goes in on Africans a bit more. And I think I think there's a reason for that. I mean, you want to clear your own house up first, and if you're going to have a bunch of people who look like you who are speaking against you, it's a lot harder to go against that type than the clear enemy or the clear ones that look totally different from you practicing anti-black racism. The ones who are black practicing anti-black racism are the ones I think you need to kind of deal with first, and then once you've dealt with them, you can sort of look externally at everybody else being anti-black. But the saboteurs who are black, who portray this anti-black rhetoric similar to what Wallow's doing, I do think it's necessary evil to go in on them, get at them. I do appreciate to my African brothers and sisters that it's not, it doesn't sound great when you're hearing these things about your homeland. But it's just you know, I would say it's for the greater good. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. I don't know if it is, but I'm hoping it is. I followed Tariq for a long time, and yeah, he's gone in a different direction these days. But I think he has his reasons, and he's articulated his reasons quite clearly. So I won't go into that.
Go to the Asian nail shop. They got buckets of water and a mop in the back. It's not a pristine place. You know, they do your nails good, which is cool. But it's with black businesses, boy, everything, the floor has to be swept. Everything has to be in pristine condition.
Tariq, my guy, man. But I found this super hilarious because
Tariq's his guy because Tariq did an interview on there on No Jumper with Flakko. I would say, why is Tariq your guy, Flakko? Tariq speaks against everything you are. I don't understand why he's your guy. It's because he's popular and you don't want him getting at you, because he'd flame you. I don't know, but I don't understand why he's your guy. You are the epitome of what he mainly speaks about, in my opinion. And I'm not saying you are, Flakko. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, if you look at it, if you take a magnifying glass to it, you academics, those likes are really the crux of what him and the likes of many people who say they are FBA talking about. Go on.
because when the Wallo clip began to go viral, he shared a picture of Wallo with the title "Where is Wallo's family from?" So Tariq Nasheed and them was trying to pass off Wallo as an immigrant, as a non-FBA, and
Fair comment. Wallo could look like he's from Somalia or like an East African. You see, I could see him being East African. So, I'll forgive Tariq for asking that question.
was trying to say that because he's a non-FBA, he's attacking Black American businesses. But then they had to find out that no, Tariq, no, like Wallo is not from Africa. He's not Jamaican. No, Wallo is from Philadelphia. He's Black American. So yeah, I just thought this was hilarious, man. But I feel like Tariq Nasheed, again, respectfully, because I like Tariq Nasheed, I think he's wrong on this situation because with Wallo is speaking about the expectation.
I like Tariq Nasheed as well, but I do not think he's wrong on this one. I do think he's wrong on some other topics, but this one, I do not think he's wrong. This is classic Tariq Nasheed. This is old school Tariq Nasheed, focusing on the, white supremacy supporters, deniers, the ones within our ranks, let's just say. I support this message from Tariq Nasheed.
A Black business will look you in your eyes and say, you're supposed to shop here instead of there because I'm a Black-owned business. Wallo is saying that's not enough.
Where have they experienced this? Where have they experienced this Black-owned business, which is totally subpar, rubbish, just expecting Black people to shop there because they themselves are Black. They are Black business owners. I don't know if this is. I don't think this is accurate. I don't think entrepreneurs, Black people who have gone out their way to set up a business, right? Maybe they've taken out a loan, blood, sweat, tears, borrowed money from friends, family, to set up their own business, okay? They're just going to rest on the laurels that they are Black, so therefore I will be supported by Black people. I don't think anyone thinks that. This is a made-up argument. Who's going around thinking that? What are they talking about? This is why I was so confused in my first video, because I was like, what Black businesses just expect you to shop there because they're Black? Who does that? America's the home of capitalism. Who's doing that? I don't know. I think it's just a fake argument to have something negative to say about Black people.
You have to give me something that's valuable for my dollar. When I give you this $100, whatever you give me back has to be a mutual transaction. So when people go to, let's say, like the Asian nail shop, they usually leave that nail shop satisfied that their nails is done right. And they probably would ignore the other sanitary issues. So like he's just thinking about how being a Black business is not enough. You have to come with something else. And I feel like people who are anti that message are people who want for a Black business having the title of a Black business to be enough and having no standards or no requirement for our own.
When someone highlights the fact that they're a Black business, okay, that they're saying amongst all the controversy, amongst everything, amongst the white supremacy, amongst everything, I am a Black business. I've done it. I've come out of that. I'm Andy Dufresne. I've crawled out the sewers and I'm out the other end. And look, I'm free. I'm a Black business. I think that's what they're saying. They're not saying, "Hey, I'm Black. Support me because you're Black." I don't think. Why would they say that? Why would they say that? Like who's saying that? I don't know anybody that has that sentiment. What business owner has that sentiment? Because I don't. I think that's nonsense. And Flacco's just making stuff up. Respectfully, Flacco, you're just making things up, mate. Like, really. Like, Wallo just saying, don't expect your business to be rubbish and for me to still support it because you're black. Who would... What business owner has that mind frame? Because what business owner has that mind frame? I don't know it. This is just made up. It's just a made up imaginary person in your head who's black, who's pro-black. And I think this is just against a veiled dig being pro-black. That's what this is. This is a veiled dig at being pro-black. Like, because it makes no sense what they're talking about.
And I think that's unfair, especially when it comes to me giving my dollar away.
For you to not shit on it. Because the minute there's one little flaw, the black business gets shit on. And that we don't do that. I don't co-sign that. I don't co-sign that at all. And look, there's some people who do all of this stuff to be performative. They have a desire to please the dominant society. So they see like anti-black commentary as a way to gain approval from white audiences. So bashing black businesses, especially on public platforms, that's a sign of buffoonery to audition for the dominant society a lot of times. Because
Yeah, I agree with Tariq. I agree with him on that. It is like an audition piece. I can come on here, start talking mess about FBA, start talking mess about black Americans, and it will garner attention. Hate, love, whatever, but it'll garner attention. And a lot of people do that. They just say things. Whether they believe it or not, they just say things to garner attention. I'm too lazy to mess up my brain like that. I'm just going to go with what I think. It's a lot easier just telling you what I think and what I believe,
that's what the dominant society want to hear. And let's be real, there's a lot of people who got an ingrained respect for white or non-black institutions, and they simply don't give them the same criticism. You don't. I don't want to hear about how black businesses ain't doing this, black businesses don't be doing that. Listen.
I've noticed a trend. Whenever somebody black have a critique of black people, it always get treated as, oh, you only doing it because the white man put you up to it. Oh, you were trying. Yo, it's always treated as they're being put up to it. As if...
But Flacco, they are though. Even if they're not explicitly being put up to it, they are doing it with the hopes that they'll be picked up by some white person somewhere that's going to take them out of the rut that they're in. That's why they're doing it, mate. All right? Now, I know your boss is white, a white guy, and, you have all praises for this white man. And that's fine. Good luck to you. Most of us in the UK who are employed, we're normally employed under some white institution, okay? Especially in the corporate world, okay? So, yeah, I understand you, Flacco. But what you're saying doesn't make any sense. When people speak out against black people, it should be looked at with scrutiny. You should look at that with a raised eyebrow. Like, why? With all the things happening in the world, why would you speak out against the people that's been the most oppressed ever? Why? I don't understand. Why would you do that? So that's the reason people get in when these celebrities start talking rubbish about black people. It just doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing it? Why? Are you that altruistic? You just want black people to do better. We must do better. It's just another reiteration of that, I think.
You can't have your own opinion. As if you having an opinion always has to be centered around whiteness, when that's not always the case. No, like, not everybody is walking around Earth trying to appease the white folks, bruh. Some people just have their own opinions. Now, this man is at a business conference with a bunch of black folks in the building, giving them advice on how to run a reputable and a good business. He's telling them, hey, bruh, if you are a black-owned business, stop relying on a title of black-owned business to acquire customers. Offer something that's unique to the market. So he was giving game to black entrepreneurs. I don't think he was trying to cater to white folks, right?
Flacco, what game was this guy giving to black entrepreneurs? What game? What game was he giving to black entrepreneurs? I don't know what game it was. Don't have a shit business because people won't support you just because you're black. I think most of them knew that. That's not a revelation. People knew that. I think people naturally know that. No black person goes into business just thinking, I'm going to set up this business because black people will support me. To be honest, I think they think opposite. I think they think the opposite, no? So that wasn't advice. I think Tariq Nasheed hit the nail on the head by saying it's performative criticism, because it is. It's performative. It's nonsense. I just don't think he had anything to say. I don't think he had anything business-minded to say. So instead, he dived into social media tropes and we must do better, black on black crime. I'm surprised he didn't get into that. We must stop killing each other. He should have just carried on with it, because that was nonsense. He just didn't have anything to say. That was the best advice I think he had for a bunch of black entrepreneurs, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Well, it's the one that's been promoted. It's gone viral. Imagine that goes viral. That nonsense. So I'm thinking, because that nonsense has gone viral, he couldn't have said anything else worth anything, because people would have said, no, actually, that was just a one-off. That was just a section in the speech. He actually gave some really good advice about A, B, and C. Nah, I don't think he did. I think that was probably the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway. That was his grand closing. That's the biggest message he wanted those black people to take away with him. Just because you're black. I mean, I think they know that. But he wanted the world to hear him say that, to give him a pat on the back or a clap. Pathetic, in my opinion.
Bro, he could have gone to like a white business conference and told him that, if that was the case. But no, he was giving game to black entrepreneurs, and he ain't even.
Flakko, why would he go to a white convention and tell him that just because you're black don't mean? Why would he do that? what would be the point of him doing that? That makes no sense. I think he was speaking too quickly. Flakko.
No, he was being recorded. He was just speaking to an audience.
Family, I want y'all to listen to me. Y'all asses go to McDonald's. McDonald's messes up your order every goddamn time you go. All right? McDonald's, their ice
Bro, go on, Tariq. What are you saying about the ice cream machine? Because I was going to touch on that. Go on.
cream machine never works. They're infamous for not having the ice cream machine
Ever.
working. And
It'll work in the winter. If it's freezing cold and snowy outside, the ice cream machine will work. Let it be scorching summer. Try and get a milkshake or an ice cream from McDonald's. Nah, you're not getting it. The milkshake will be all nasty. It's just like a lump of ice cream with like the syrup just not even properly mixed in properly. Ugh. Yeah, that's McDonald's.
locations. They mess up your order. They don't put the right amount of fries in there. They mess your order up all the time. You still take your ass back to them. All right? Let's stop it. Every single one of you done been to McDonald's. They done mess your damn order up multiple times. And you know it. I had McDonald's mess up one of my orders a week or so ago. I had a filet of fish and they didn't put the shit in there. You go to Popeye, they misplace your put it in the bag. They do it all the time. You go.
Don't tell me Tariq gets the little fish like me with onions and lettuce, and maybe a one tomato on there, depending on how you feel. It's banging, by the way. Fillet of fish with anyway. Forget McDonald's. I'm boycotting McDonald's still. Ain't gone there in years. People know why.
Go back. Now, if a black restaurant, they don't put enough forks and spoons. Oh man, but I ain't never going back this bullshit. Hell no, nigga. Hell damn, nigga. Let me write me a Yelp review.
Yeah, Tariq's talking facts. And I've written bad reviews for McDonald's. Like, that's the only power I've managed to exercise. So I've done it. But Tariq's speaking facts, and I think Flakko's missing the point. Let's see what else Flakko has to say.
Right? They've built credibility among consumers. If you are a new business, if you're somebody who is brand new, who
okay, Flakko's making the point that, look, McDonald's is, got a business model. People know it's a chain. It's a chain. People know what they expect. They know what they're going to get. And sometimes they mess up your order. But ultimately, it's a bigger chain. That's his point. But with black people, you can't just be coming out new, setting up, being janky, and then expecting black people to support you just because you're black. No. If there is a criticism from black business owners, it's that they would rather go to the white store for the same item at the same price, at the same quality. That is their gripe. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what Wallo's talking about, and I don't really know what Flakko's talking about. I think this is something deeper that they need to explore within themselves. Maybe have a chat with O'Shea Duke Jackson, because he seems to have had a 180 about turn with his views on black crime and all of that. It seems like it. I don't know, but you're missing the point, Flakko. And maybe as you get older and you mature, maybe you'll get worse. Maybe you'll get better. I hope you get better with your views on black folks, but Wallo was wrong, and Tariq was right on this point, and there is no argument to say. Well, there is, but I think I've been pretty logical, and I'm not saying that Wallo is auditioning for white acceptance, but a lot of people use that same tactic, overanalyze and criticize black culture whilst remaining silent with everybody else, and it's becoming boring, and we're noticing all over the world, not just in America. Okay, peace. Just tactic.